Hey there, my name is Waheed and I'm the founder and CEO of New Limits. And in this short video presentation, I'm going to be explaining the exact step-by-step system that my team and I have developed over the years that allows us to generate a consistent stream of high-quality leads for auto shops in Australia, New Zealand, and the US. And this system allows our clients to keep their workshops booked weeks in advance. And also our campaigns generate 400, 500, 600, even up to 1,000% return on ad spend. Now I'm going to be pulling back the curtain and showing all of the details, the juicy results that we get. So stay tuned. I think you're really going to find value in this. And without further ado, I'm going to kick this off. Now I will give you a little bit of a backstory as to how we even got here. So I initially got into digital marketing around 8 years ago. I worked for an agency and I found digital marketing to be extremely powerful, so I grew a real passion for it. And I was even invited to a Google partner event because I was one of the high performers in the company. Eventually, I went out and started my own company. And one of my early clients that is still a client of ours today is Mark Bemis. His auto shop was called New Market Car Care, and eventually he rebranded it to Audi, Porsche, Volkswagen Auto Works. The system that I developed for him allowed him to scale from around 30 to 40K per month all the way up to 80, 90 to 100K per month. And he's been able to hire more technicians and also a desk staff to help with answering calls so he can focus more on optimizing the business. And we basically, for him, he really wanted to move into the European space. So we were able to flood his workshop with Audis, Porsches, and Volkswagens. And our system also helps to generate, transmission leads, brake leads, non-European leads. We've got a system for all types of leads. It's just that he really wanted to focus on European cars. Now, as you can see here, this is a screenshot from Mechanic Desk, which is a CRM that he uses, and you can see the growth of his revenue in this chart here. And, over the years, I have been also networking with some of the best in the industry. And you may know Sabri Subi. He's a host on Shark Tank Australia. And really, my goal is to become one of the best automotive lead generation companies in the world, and I'll keep fighting toward that goal. Now, over the years, I've also, grew my team. We've got Sam on the right here, Tasman on the left, and then eventually Maddie joined us there. And we've also got a team in the Philippines that help us with a lot of back-end operations, and we've got staff in Malaysia as well at the moment, so we're consistently growing. And I've got a YouTube channel that I'm slowly building that has a lot of valuable content around automotive workshop, lead generation. As it stands, for a recent month, we generated over 2,000 leads for our auto shop clients collectively. The leads that we generate are inbound phone calls or email inquiries. And as you can see here, we get a report every day that shows us the exact amount of calls received, the duration of those phone calls. And on the right-hand side, you can see the category of leads that we're generating, whether it's mobile, auto electrical, AC repairs, Mercedes, European, BMW, transmission, clutch repairs, suspension, all that kind of stuff. And the word on the street about us is looking pretty damn good. Here are just a few testimonials, and I will be diving into these in a bit more detail towards the end of the presentation. And really, now let's dive into the nuts and bolts of our system. So we call it the 90-day auto shop growth program. It's really a 3-step process. So step 1 is we're going to generate leads on autopilot for our auto shops, our client auto shops. And we do that using Google Ads and high converting landing pages. It is then our client's responsibility to turn 10 to 30% of those leads into customers. The reason we say 10 to 30% is because based on the data that we track, we're able to generate them 400, 500, 600, even up to 1,000% return on ad spend, as long as they can close between 10 to 30% of leads into customers. A lead is an inbound phone call or an email from someone specifically searching for, whether it's brake repairs near me, brake repairs, and then or suburb or area, or transmission specialist, or Audi workshop. We are very, very specific with the keywords. Step 3 is we're going to look for campaigns that are generating over a 400% return on ad spend, and we're going to scale those ones and start spending more so you start earning more as well. So that's basically the 3-step process. Now I'll go into a little bit more detail. So step 1, the ads and landing pages. That's what we're using to create the inbound leads on autopilot for you. And we'll target, like I said, keywords like Audi specialist in the area, transmission shop near me, mobile tire repairs, West LA. These are just some examples, but really we have thousands depending on what our client wants to bring in. And we write ads on Google, as you can see here. I'll just move this little video of myself. There we go. And then as we go on, The landing pages that we build a specific landing page for that specific category of lead. So if we're generating Audi traffic, we send them to an Audi landing page that generates on average 25% conversion rates. So 1 in 4 clicks turns into a lead, which then you have to close into a customer. Here's another example of a mobile tire repair business that we're working with in West LA. They also own a actual brick and mortar workshop, which is doing over 700,000 per month. We work with really large businesses and also smaller ones as well. And I'm going to give you some more example landing pages shortly. Now, like I said, step 2 was we need you to close those leads, and we're going to be tracking all the leads that we generate for you into a spreadsheet. It's a simple spreadsheet. I'll show you some more examples, but basically the green column shows you the phone calls that were received and the phone number of who called you, and the blue column is where you have to write down comments and also tell us how much was collected in terms of cash. Then what we do is we're looking to scale things that are over 400%. And so as you can see here, we'll have a little table that says, Volkswagen spent 263, generated 2,500 in cash collected, and we're collecting that data from the inputs you give us. We've also figured out a way to make this a very simple, seamless process as well. And then what we're looking for, you can see transmission had no sales, brakes was a 500% return, Audi 524, 951 for Volkswagen. And this is an actual example client result as well. So the different lead categories that we have, I'm going to be going through these in a second. Before I do that, I just want to show you some example landing pages. So over here is a suspension landing page. So if we're building a suspension campaign, we would send them to here. This is for an actual client of ours. And we make the page very relevant to suspension so that we get the high landing page conversion rate. And we also get testimonials from your Google, Yelp, Facebook. Here's a landing page that we've created for a client that wanted to get non-European cars in. So we have a page for Hyundai, Ford, Toyota, and people do go to Google searching for a Hyundai specialist or a Toyota Autoshop. So we create service and brand specific pages for them and track all the phone calls and inquiries that come through. We have a client that wanted to focus on 4x4s. And so we did that. Audi over here, brakes over here, people searching for brake repairs, brake replacements, brake auto shop, brake shop. That's how those work. And we've got a ton of these landing pages we can show you. And then as we move on, I'm going to show you the actual ad accounts as well. So here it is a live ad account for a client that just wants Volkswagens, Porsches, and Audis into his workshop. And as you can see here, from 1st of July to 2nd of December, he spent $11,000 on advertising, and we generated 236 conversions. And we can see 175 came from Volkswagen, 19 from Porsche, 42 from Audi. And then we can also go over here and have a look at the actual calls that came through. And our team in the Philippines will go through, copy all of these phone calls that were received, and we'll put them into a spreadsheet for you like this, so you can leave us notes and we know exactly what the returns are, which campaigns are working the best. This is a free service provided by Google where it tracks all the calls. Here's another example where basically we can see this client wanted to focus on 4x4s, brakes, and for him in this last 30-day period, he spent $1,344 on ads, 20 conversions for 4x4 suspension, $24 per conversion. 4x4 servicing and repairs, 9 conversions, $52 a pop. Brakes, $251 spent, 11 conversions, $22 a pop. And 4x4 tuning as well, $33 a pop. So, we like to break down the campaign so we can see the performance of each one like that and then make decisions based on that. Here's a client that is doing mobile tire repairs. We have, as you can see here, we've spent $3,200 in the last 30 days. 34% conversion rate on the landing page, meaning he's got 61 conversions. And here's another example of a client that is doing European focus. So anyone looking for a Mercedes repairs, BMW, European Land Rover, Audi, Porsche, and you can see really consistent high conversion rates, 23%, and good cost per conversions as well coming through there. And with this client, they're currently paused for the Christmas break, but they're doing aircon, getting 65 conversions in this time period at $27 a pop for AC conversions, $25 a pop for clutch repairs. And the list goes on. And now I'm going to be showing you actual lead sheets. So this is what we provide the client, as I mentioned earlier. It is the green column shows you the calls that were received. We like to ensure that you're getting long duration calls. It means you're answering the calls. It means that they're qualified. And then we need you to tell us which ones closed into customers. And the email conversions are here. And then what we do is we look at the ROI. So in this case, $3,200 spent, $22,000 collected, 692% return. And since then, and so, the closing rates are also something we monitor. So with this particular client here, we can see all of the conversions they generated. And we look at, okay, the rebuilds campaign, 21 leads, only 1 conversion. So 5% closing rate, but you still had 1,100% return on ad spend because of the high transaction value. So we like to go for leads that have a high transaction value. With the Volkswagen, they had a 20% closing rate, Audi 11%. So as long as you're between a 10 to 30%, you're going to get a high return on ad spend. And that's really what we're looking for because cash is king. And another example here, this is a client that really wanted to focus on transmission jobs. And we can see, he generated 56 transmission leads. He only closed 7%, so he got 4 sales. So he spent 1,000 and made 7,700. So he spent 1,500, made 7,700, which is a 493% return. Transmission has a high transaction value but a low closing rate. Volkswagen, 28% closing rate. So then my team and I, what we do is we say, okay, cool. Based on this, let's scale this campaign or let's scale that campaign. Now, this is a funny example with a client we have who is an auto electrician, and he's been with us for a long time now. We've generated hundreds and hundreds of calls. He doesn't give us any feedback, but that's because he's busy, he's happy, and there's less decisions we can help him with if we don't get the data. But I think this is a funny example to show you guys. It's not essential that you give us the data, but we do recommend it in the first few months at least. Okay, so back to the presentation here. So the lead categories that we can generate are, you can pause the video and have a look at it, but it goes all the way from suspension, transmission, mobile mechanical, auto electrical, batteries, tires, tuning, heavy machinery, exhausts. So these are service specific, and then we also go brand specific. So if you want specific brands into your workshop, we can go brand specific. Some recent results: we grew Newmarket Car Care, aka APV Autoworks, from 35,000 a month to 100,000 a month. Australia Mechanical, within 3 months, they spent 5,300 and made 35,000 in sales. It's a 666% return. Skyline Auto Club, within the first 30 days, they spent 1,000, they made 7,580% returns. Empire Automotive Services, within 30 days, ad spend $1,090, sales $4,670, return 428%. So I am showing you some results that we generate in the first 30 days because because we are leveraging what has worked for other workshops, we get a faster speed to results. But really, over the long run is where you see a lot of the gains. Boss One Auto Electrical, 59 inquiries within a 3-week period and only $19 per lead. Oztire Automotive, in 2 weeks we generated 22 transmission leads. He spent 1,000 and he made 4,800, returned 442%. So again, if we see things over 400%, it means that the cost per lead is good, which we have control over, and also your closing rates are within KPI. So therefore we scale campaigns. Portside Mechanical, within 35 days, 113 inquiries, and they consistently booked in advance. And Australia Mechanical. So here's a testimonial. Thank you to Sam and Waheed. We are thrilled with the work that they have done to get our business name out there. They have helped us connect with new clients and generate more business. Sam is super friendly and a pleasure to deal with. We are excited for all of the future possibilities that have opened up to us. Highly recommend. John, so Sin and Waheed have been a big help to our family business, making sure we have a weekly update and chat on how to see progress with new limits. 50-50 on getting calls and jobs booked, but we do get jobs booked in. Working with Sin is great. She's helpful and very responsive. Steve Vopper. Waheed, Sam, and Maddie and the New Limits team are a great bunch of positive people that have helped me and my business achieve the unimaginable. Their knowledge and ability to educate on many facets is much appreciated and would highly recommend. Ryan Tires. Great guys and deliver 100% results, very understanding and not like other marketing guys who take money and don't deliver results. Give it a go, you won't be disappointed. And the list goes on. There's a lot more where those came from. So really, what are the next steps from here for auto shops that want to work with us? The first step is we choose which lead types you want to generate. Now, because of our vantage point working with all these auto shops in different countries, we can see which leads are worth more than other leads. For example, right, like transmission has a higher transaction value than maybe brakes. However, brakes are quick, fast, and there's a high closing rate on leads that come through. Versus, maybe, let's say engine rebuilds, right, or clutch repairs. So each lead has a different kind of customer that it brings in, and we like to get high transaction values on the front end to offset any advertising costs and just scale really fast. And also, we can go for brand specific as well if you just want to fill your workshop with, say, European cars. Once we choose the leads, which really only takes 10 minutes, then we introduce you to your ongoing account manager, and they will be your main point of contact. We have a system that we use that allows you to speak to them as if, similar to WhatsApp, where you can communicate to them at any time. You can book calls with them and all that kind of stuff. And your ads go live in 7 days from launch, or 7 days from signing up. So that's the simple system. That's how it works. And in terms of communication, we can use over the phone, email, or we can add you to a Slack channel, like I mentioned earlier, where you can just chat to us back and forth. We send results through there. We send voice notes, videos, make it very easy for you. It's like very conversational. And that's really it. So any questions, feel free to reach out, and I will put a link at the bottom of this video for you to book a call with us. Talk to you soon.